Welcome, horror fans. It's that time of week again. Another collection of horrifying stories that are guaranteed to keep you up at night. Some say the most chilling stories aren't the ones born from imagination, but the ones that touch on the unknown corners of reality. Tonight, we journey into the heart of terror with three unsettling tales that will leave you questioning what lurks in the shadows, what lies behind closed doors, and what secrets the world hides. First, meet a giant whose one precious treasure is stolen, sending him on a vengeful rampage that shakes the very earth. Then step into a seemingly ordinary laundromat, where a young boy discovers that each machine is a doorway to unimaginable realms and horrors. Finally, join a family at a secluded cabin where the darkness isn't just a place, but a presence, relentless and suffocating. These are not just stories to hear, they're stories to feel. So turn down the lights, lock the doors, and prepare yourself for a descent into fear you'll never forget. Story 1. The Giant's Revenge. Deep in the heart of an uncharted forest stood the veiled peaks, towering cliffs that stretched so high they seemed to scrape the sky. Legends whispered about the Giant of Veiled Peaks, a colossal being with ancient eyes, gnarled hands, and a heart that pulsed like thunder. His life was solitary, his peace found in a single precious possession, a golden locket. Inside was a hand-carved portrait of the woman he once loved, an ethereal creature who had long since vanished into mist and memory. One fateful evening, as the sun bled into the horizon, the Giant woke to a void where his locket should have been. His howls shook the mountains, reverberating across valleys and rivers, summoning fear in every soul within miles. A group of opportunistic treasure hunters had taken what was his. The Giant set out, his colossal steps leaving craters in the earth. Villages evacuated as he approached, the air suffocating under his mournful wails. He followed the scent of iron and greed, tracking the thieves who dared defile his sanctuary. He first found the scout in a crumbling chapel, clutching his crossbow. The Giant's shadow engulfed him, and without hesitation, the ground split beneath the man, swallowing him whole. The second was caught along a rocky shore. Though the thief begged and wailed, the Giant's wrath was unstoppable. By the time he reached the final thief, trembling in a fortress atop a windswept cliff, his form seemed less flesh and more vengeance incarnate. But the locket, his treasure, was gone, sold to a nameless collector. The Giant let out one final earth-shaking roar and vanished into legend. Some say his sorrow is eternal, and the ghost of his vengeance stalks the wind, searching endlessly for what was taken. Others say he waits for the one who dares to steal again. Story 2. The Laundromat Worlds. Jason hated chores, but when his mom handed him a basket of dirty clothes and some quarters, he begrudgingly set off to the old laundromat on 5th Street. The fluorescent lights flickered ominously as he entered, the smell of soap and mildew hanging heavy in the air. He picked a machine at random, dumped the clothes inside, and inserted a quarter. As the machine began to hum and spin, the air around him shifted. Suddenly, he wasn't in the laundromat anymore. World 1. He found himself in a lush, glowing forest where every plant seemed alive. Enormous, colorful flowers stretched and twisted toward him, their petals revealing sharp, glass-like teeth. He backed away as a low growl echoed through the trees. Shadows moved in the foliage, and Jason ran until he found another washing machine nestled in a hollow tree. With trembling hands, he opened the lid, jumped in, and spun into darkness. World 2. He landed on a black, endless ocean beneath a blood-red sky. Dozens of small rowboats bobbed aimlessly on the still water. Jason noticed the occupants, pale figures with hollow eyes and stitched mouths. One of them turned its head toward him, and he froze as the others began to row toward his boat in unison. Panicking, he spotted another washing machine floating nearby. He dove into it, desperate to escape. World 3. This world was nothing but mirrors. Endless reflections of himself stared back from every surface, each slightly different. Some smiled eerily, some moved when he didn't, and others had twisted, monstrous faces. The reflections started clawing at the glass, trying to break free. Jason scrambled backward until he found yet another machine and jumped inside without hesitation. He tumbled back into the laundromat, breathing hard. The lights flickered back to life, and everything appeared normal. except for one thing. The basket of clothes was gone, and in its place sat a folded note. We'll see you again soon. Story 3. The Shadow at Crescent Cabin. The Jenkins family thought a weekend at Crescent Cabin would be the perfect getaway, a break from technology, work, and the grind of daily life. Nestled deep in the woods, the cabin seemed idyllic at first. Warm wooden walls, a crackling fireplace, and a serene lake just outside. It started on the first night. Jamie, their youngest, pointed to the wall. "The shadow," he whispered, his small voice trembling. "It's moving." Claire, the mother, chuckled nervously. "Shadows always move, sweetheart. It's just the firelight." But Jamie was right. The shadow didn't flicker or dance with the flames. It crawled, stretching unnaturally across the room. By the time they noticed, it had crept to the corner, disappearing as quickly as it had come. On the second night, the shadow came back, but it wasn't alone. It stretched up the walls, pooling at the ceiling. Whispers filled the cabin, unintelligible yet chilling. The family huddled together as the shadows writhed like living creatures, forming long, spindly arms and empty, staring voids where eyes should have been. When morning came, the family tried to leave, but the forest had changed. The path to the car led in circles, the trees pressing closer, blocking out the sun. It was as if the woods were alive, trapping them. On the third night, the cabin descended into madness. The shadows consumed every corner, creeping closer with every passing minute. The family clung to each other in terror as the darkness closed in, leaving only their terrified screams echoing through the empty woods. When rescuers arrived days later, the cabin was empty. No bodies, no belongings, just long black scorch marks on the floor where the Jenkins family had last stood, as if they had been burned out of existence. Some say the shadows of Crescent Cabin still call for visitors, their whispers promising sanctuary but delivering only despair. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey through 3 unforgettable tales of terror. If you enjoyed these stories and want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next spine-tingling upload. Which story sent shivers down your spine the most? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you know someone who loves a good scare, share this video with them and spread the fear. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and remember, the scariest things are the ones you don't see coming.